Un elefante se balanceaba en una tela de araña. Yeah, there's an elephant balancing himself on a spider's web. Subconscious communication. Always gotta know what you put on your body. I got a quick little story. Family, I got a quick little story. So one of my brothers, right, it's like about 15 years ago, nigga, he had little pull-up shit on his door, on his, like, you know, on his door and shit. So he's doing his pull-ups. It's a couple days before his birthday. Nigga broke his toe on that shit. Shit came off, he broke his toe. They put a cast on that shit and all that, but he shook it off. So niggas decided to go to a club, like a little party and shit. So he goes to this, we go to the party. It's like friends and family. To make it brief, we took a picture. I don't know, so I guess his sister gets to see the picture. She like, oh shit. Yo, he got like 30 orbs around him. His sister was talking about me, like me in the picture. I'm tooting my horn, nothing. But when he told me that, his sister told him that, I'm like, oh shit, I took it kind of lightly. Like, I didn't quite understand. But internally, the internal voice was like, yeah, you kind of different. But I still put it to the side, kept doing what I was doing. We were smoking, dabbing. Time I was smoking heavy though. But yeah. So I took it kind of lightly. It's like orbs, orbs. Like little lights, shit, floating around. Took it lightly. Still kept experiencing some like weird phenomenon or paranormal activity type shit, but I kind of kept it to myself. Then went through a couple, mind altering, I would say deaths. Like deaths. It wasn't really like, I was kind of tweaking, but I don't consider myself tweaking. That's through the eyes of somebody else. But fuck that, it's neither here nor there. But in any event, when I noticed that internal voice, like, hey, you kind of different, but I put it to the side. Now fast forward to now. Lately, I've been experiencing, like, I've been seeing, like orbs, no face. So an orb is like a ball of energy. I've been seeing them here and there. One instance was I was in my backyard. I was raking some leaves with a certain intention behind it, because I knew what those leaves was. But I did have a plan to do it. But whatever, I went out there and I look up. It's like a golden yellow orb. And mind you, everybody's an orb when you break them down to a core. So you can say these is angels, demons, whatever you want to call it. This is energy. I mean, with a specific awareness, because it's watching me. So as soon as I looked up, the shit just flew away. I'm like, oh shit. I kept it to myself. I'm like, oh shit. I'm not bugging. Oh, the other day, fast forward that, the other day, I was laying in bed, I seen the same shit. And it's between like a blink. It's like a blink. As soon as I open my eyes, same thing happened when I tried to look up. Shit just moved away. But it sits there for a little bit. And when you try to focus in on it, that's when it like moves away. And that's when you really know. It kind of shocks you because it's like, oh shit, someone's watching me. So, I'm saying that to say this, man. Make this shit nice and short. Keep this nice and short. You gotta know, son's always watching you. And more when you asleep. Like, that's a definite. Especially now when the times is moving faster and niggas is not really in the present. Like, or the now. I'd rather call it the now. It's the now. Like the Nile River. Like, this is the present. Like, I give you a present. Like, happy birthday or Merry Christmas. It's in a box. It's not animated. It's not moving. That's the present. It's stuck. It's fixed. I could be in the present, but I also like to be in the now, where things is always moving. And you get to observe, and you get to learn when things are in the now, and you get to observe. Because you got the ability to sit back and watch things move. But, so, these things is kind of biblical too. You can use the Bible, biblical text for reference. You got the watchers. The watchers are these beings that got sent down to make sure that people were following God's plans. So these entities have a history. Some people will say they exist. I believe something is always watching you. But I believe that also has to do with artificial intelligence. But not only that, I don't want to go too much detail, but you got timelines shifted, and being that time is moving faster, the fourth dimensional construct has to go somewhere. It just doesn't disappear. So guess what? It's gonna merge with this physical plane. It has to merge like a nexus point. It has to converge and meet at the middle. So I believe not everybody's gonna be able to tap in to seeing these things, or even more being able to communicate with these things. So these beings. So I don't really share shit like this. I really don't. I was compelled to do so. So even if it's near future, I could use myself as reference point. Or somebody else can come to this video so they don't feel like they're alone. You don't gotta be under a mind control, MK Ultra. Don't get MK Ultra and get sent to the nut house. Nigga, I was. But yeah, still keep it funky though. About shit like this is important. So yeah, man, just things watching you when you sleep, things watching you when you're aware. But the whole The whole concept, or the meaning behind me telling you this is, like I said, in biblical text, it was to make sure that you were following God's plan. So, if you feel like you are the universe in verse, always do what you said you was gonna do. And you know what you have to do. And they're gonna intervene. They're gonna watch you. Whether it's if it's ancestors, demons, angels, shit, all winged beings are not benevolent, so, or whatever you call that word. But yeah, man, always do what you said you was gonna do, and you know what you gotta do, so just do it. Sleep.